Welcome to episode 215 of the Muck Podcast. Listen in as we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics. I'm Tina Jaramillo.
And I'm Hillary Doherty.
Hillary!
Hi!
Hi!
How are you?
I'm good.
So I was at trivia Monday night. I love trivia.
Wait, are you going to go during spring break? Or is it a day that you go?
When's your spring break?
It's not this Monday, but the next one.
Yes. I'm going.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm
The
just
25th,
inviting
the 25th.
I'm inviting myself.
Yeah, Emma did too, and I said, of course, please come. Because I put up a picture of all the food that we order. This was why I really go. And we didn't win, of course, again. I'm always in 4th place or 5th place at that place.
You know, we're changing that.
Yeah. And, but anyway, I wanted to let you know that they had one of the trivia questions I knew because of a story I covered on the podcast.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
What was the question?
What scandal had the very first cabinet member ever in the United States history impeached?
Oh.
And I knew it was the Teapot Dome scandal. Remember? It was one of my first stories, by the way. And I was like, I think it's this. And Warren G. Harding, remember I talked about Warren G., how fucking cool that name is, you know? Regulator. Like, I'm like, what? I know it. It's got to be Teapot Dome. And it was fucking right. And I was like, I can't wait to tell Tina this.
Oh my God.
It's paying off, folks.
Is it just history or is it like pop culture? Is it
yeah, so music, like it's like 8 rounds. There's 3 questions in each round, and the second question is always like whatever category, but it's also a music question. So you have to, he'll play a song and you can name the artist in the song, and I can get like 2 chords in and I'm like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, like whatever.
So I haven't done bar trivia in a long time. So everyone just shows their answers. What if people are like do on the phone?
No phones. If they see you on the phone, he said if you want to answer a phone, you got to call somebody. You need to leave the room, but you can't. No, okay. If he catch you cheating, you're out.
And is it like boom, first person with their hand up?
No. You get a piece of paper, you write it down, and you have to wager points. So each round you can do 9 points.
I'm so excited to.
It's really good. It's really good. And they put on their Facebook this trivia company. They put every week they have they'll give you 2 clues for each day that they do trivia.
Oh.
So since we go Mondays, I always look at Mondays trivia clues. So at least you'll get these 2 right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clues. So yeah, I fucking love it.
And are you against the same team every time? Like, is there?
There's a whole bunch of teams. Yes, there are.
Like the people who are like
#LFG. Larry's Angels is another team. #LFG is another team. This week our team name was Stump the Byeee.
Ooh.
From Bapa Booey, Bapa Booey from Howard Stern. We always have a different name.
And then is there like a rival team where you're like, I want to beat this team because they always beat us, or no?
There is a team that is always there. And I don't know how well they do, but I suspect that they cheat, to be honest with you. I have a suspicion.
But they got like their AirPod in. They got something. They're phoning it in.
Also, like, you have to have a good group because everybody has their strengths. Like, I'm not a sports person, so I'm relying on these sports people around me to tell me who's on the cover of this NHL Steve Madden game or football game, whatever. Like, I don't know.
I could do music, lit, some history.
Yeah. Advertising is a big one.
I can maybe do that. Cannot do sports. It depends on the sport.
Yeah. I can't do sports either. But what always gets me is this final round question. The final trivia, you have to like rank.
Jeopardy?
Kind of, but you have to like rank. So this one was out of these 4, list the largest to the smallest, right? So it was number of episodes of All That, the TV show that's on Nickelodeon. The number of career field goals for the current leader in the NFL, like kicker.
All right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, how many cities in the United States have over 150,000 or 200,000 population? And I'm like,
who the fuck is winning this
one?
one?
Here's the other one. It was 4. How many Chuck E. Cheese restaurants are there in America?
Oh, that's the bottom of the list because they've all shut down.
It was the top of the list.
What?
Over 600, they say on their website, but really it's like 400. It was the largest number out of those 4 things. Can you fucking believe this?
I would have put it at the bottom.
Because I don't know if you watched
that
late night or this week's Sunday this week. I don't know what the fuck with
John Oliver.
John Oliver.
Last week tonight.
Did you see his story about Chuck E. Cheese a few weeks ago?
I remember reading
about it.
It
was fucking nuts. It was so good. I recommend everybody go watch it. It's like, he goes, we were going to do this as a funny 5-minute bit, but you strap in, we're about to go 29 minutes on Chuck E. Cheese, right? And it's fucking crazy. The history of Chuck E. Cheese is nuts. Anyway, yeah. So that's so then you also have to wager points on that. Like, you find out where you rank your team is. You're like, all right, we can wager 10 because we might beat these people. But what if we get it wrong? They take it off. I don't know. I always
thank God you got a math teacher on your team to figure out the betting.
I mean, we don't.
Because I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Listen, most nights it's just me and my friend Carrie, and Simon went this week, and Carrie's a vet. And they asked an animal, next category is animal. I go, okay, this is where you're coming in because I don't. And the question was, true or false, do giraffes have vocal cords?
Do they have vocal cords? I've never heard a giraffe.
Right.
But I feel like, no, they have to. They make, or is it like some other thing that's vibrating that's not a vocal cord? I would say false.
It's false. They do have vocal cords.
Oh.
Yeah, they do not have vocal cords. That was true or false. Giraffes do not have vocal cords.
Okay. So
we said false.
Everyone has a vocal cord.
Yes.
That's like a trick question.
Yeah, it was a trick question, to which I say, aren't we already being tricked with the trivia? Like, why are you adding more tricks onto this? We don't need that. We don't need it. And that's what Carrie was going, she's like, I think it's a trick. And I'm like, I think it's a trick. I think they're tricking us.
Well, and how stressful to be a vet and have, that's a lot of pressure.
Girl.
That's like if a lit question came up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh,
we're all looking at you.
Yeah. Like, even if you know it, you might fuck up because it's so much pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's what she said. She was, I didn't study giraffes. I was like, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm over here going, he's playing this Prince song. Oh, no, he didn't even play it. He was saying, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today. Like, which Prince song is this? And I'm in my head going, dun, 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 dun. Let's go crazy, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in my head working hard here.
Freak out.
Yeah. So good.
I had, today, was it today? Yeah, today, one of my students was like, oh, what's the line from that one transcendentalist who, was a famous quote? And I'm like, well, which one? Well, it's not Thoreau, or it's not Emerson. And I was like, oh, Thoreau. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I was like, I said, there's so many of them. I was like, to be great is to be misunderstood. And they're like, oh my God, that's it. And I was like, okay, look at me getting it. Like,
we need you. We need you on trivia.
That was the highlight.
Most importantly, Funky Buddha makes delicious food.
Oh,
delicious
they have those
food.
pretzel cheese things.
I'm telling you, they have mozzarella sticks, but they're roasted mozzarella, so it's like this, or smoked mozzarella or something. Honey, everything's fucking good. Everything's good. It's good company. It's good.
I'm
it's
so
fun.
excited.
All right, come, because Emma's gonna come too.
Yay!
Okay, where do you want to begin? Because I got a mishmash. Today I was like, what are all these things?
Yeah.
I want to play you a clip of something I'm excited about. I don't know. Where do you want to start?
I wanted to do a couple Florida things.
Okay, yeah.
The Don't Say Gay.
Excellent. That's on my list. Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. 2 years ago, this bill passes.
Yeah.
It's this horrible,
it's restrictive where if someone is, to the point where people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community felt like they couldn't even have photos of their partners in their room. They couldn't have a rainbow flag. They couldn't talk about their lives. Just like, I might say, oh, my kids or my husband, and like that someone else couldn't say my partner is outrageous. Couldn't just even mention anything about being gay or queer in the classroom. And now, surprise, surprise, unconstitutional. Yeah,
and another big part of it, which I knew was a thing for you, is students, if a student came to you and confided in you, that it came out to you.
Yes.
Before you could they obviously feel safe with this teacher. In this bill, within, I think, 48 hours or a week or something, you had to inform that student's parents. Yeah. You had to out them to their parents.
Out a child.
Which, if you can think about, there's a reason why they're not maybe coming out to their parents. There's probably not a safe place at home for them, or they won't feel welcome. They might get thrown out. Anyway, so they've been battling this bill for 2 years in court. and they finally had this settlement where all of these horrible things were removed from it. And it doesn't sound like the state's going to appeal it. And why would they? Because
there's no point.
Why? DeSantis is off the campaign trail. He doesn't care about it. It's really, and the horror, and sorry, but the trauma that this caused people who work in public schools and the students. The message this sent home to kids and how their state doesn't care about them. It's really fucked up.
It's insane. And, you know, when you talk about anything, if you're talking about things in history, there might be moments in history where, you know, the fact that the person is queer was important to a particular movement, right? Like, you're talking about so many different things. Or if you're reading a book, you know, I recently read a book, it's called A Separate Peace, with students, and in that book, it's talking about like these boys at a boarding school and they're about to go off to war. It's this whole thing. And it's these two best friends and this terrible tragedy happens. But there's this subtle, very, very subtle, is not overt at all. But there are maybe one or two words in there that very, very subtle that suggests, you know, is this just friendship or is it because he has such strong feelings? Right. And this jealousy and this, it's all wrapped up. And I've taught for almost 20 years. And I've taught this book like 20 years ago. And we would talk about, if a student said, hey, you know, this thing right here, it talks about they're at the beach and he's taking his shirt off, like, you know, and like, okay, well, some critics do say that that could be something. Other critics look at it, you know, you talk about the different perspectives. And like this year I was like, well, I'm not even touching that.
Oh, it's fucked up.
You know, and who cares? It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not teaching anyone to be gay. Like, it's so ridiculous to me. But I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that students can at least feel safe in school. And
Absolutely.
feel like they can express themselves in school. I am thrilled beyond thrilled.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The other thing, to continue on the DeSantis train here, the diversity and inclusion issues. So we know that University of Florida got rid of the diversity, equity, and inclusion division, right, at the college. And there are several other colleges that have followed suit. Well, the NAACP. What about NCAA? No,
not basketball.
Yeah, not basketball. NAACP has put a statement out. They wrote a letter to black athletes
discouraging them.
Don't go to the University of Florida because it's not safe for you. Essentially.
And I don't know who did it first. I don't know if it was Emmett Smith that did it first or if it was NAACP. But Emmett Smith, who is a University of Florida graduate, went on to play for the Cowboys or the Lions.
NFL.
Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna get skewed for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We just said we don't.
I don't care about baseball. But he put a statement out saying that he is disappointed that his alma mater did this. Is doing this. So.
And that's a big football school. And guess what? And guess what put UF on the map?
Yeah.
Their football team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean,
Gatorade, bitch.
Gatorade, right?
That's
what it is. That's what put that school on the map. And when you have a strong athletic program, you have kids that want to go to that program, and it brings more money into that program. You take that away, what's going to happen to a school like UF? You're taking one of our like satellite premier top schools in the country, and you're about to trash it. And I think this is going to court too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Please.
But so now we got to wait 2 years. But in that 2 years, what damage is being done on our university campuses? All these kids in Florida that depend on bright futures, because that's their only ticket for some of them to go to college. And they're going to end up in some shit school because you wanted to be president.
Yeah, I think
it's ridiculous. But
I think what's really happening
what's
really happening at New College and how quickly it went from this wonderful liberal arts school
even a year.
To like almost a year. Teachers gone, students that classes aren't even offered for their major that's there anymore. They took all these classes away for majors that kids were in, and now they can't even finish their degree there. What happened there was almost like a fast track. We will see that same thing happening at the University of Florida and Florida State. You will see this at all of these campuses. It'll be slower because the colleges are bigger. But it'll definitely happen. I mean, I think so.
The mass exodus of tenured faculty.
Yeah.
tenure.
And I know that we've talked about...
want to get the hell out.
But I know
it's outrageous.
And I know we've talked about, like, even if you go there for a medical degree or something, it still matters, right? Like, I know my daughter, she wants to be a writer. She probably wants to, I don't know what the fuck anyway, English, right? If she goes to the University of Florida, her academics will be different than what they are now?
No, I mean, it might be... I think the type of classes that might be impacted is maybe like gender studies, like
sociology and classes like that.
But if you could take a class that is like queer lit, you know, you could take a class that is like Caribbean lit, like you could take these little niche classes. So maybe some of these, but even like diverse, right, like Black writers, things like that. Like, so my worry is like, will some of those niche classes like go away, or are teachers like, this is what I'm teaching, like they can't really come after that? Who knows? Because I think sociology is still there. They're just saying it's not a requirement anymore, where before it was a requirement. And does everyone need to take sociology? If you're a math major, who knows? You know, I think it's important to I loved my sociology class because I really ended up learning about
that's the point.
Different aspects of the world that I didn't think about as a young person. Like that's all it is.
The point of taking these classes away is to limit your worldview.
Yes.
To white. I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to limit your worldview. If my daughter were to take a queer lit class and learn, you know, from all of those writers and their perspective, she'd have more compassion for that community, right? Like, that's the point, is you expose... That's what college is for.
Yes.
Exposing yourself to all of those different sorts of classes. So...
And if you don't want to take it, you don't have to take the class. There's plenty of other literature classes that someone can take. But if someone wants to take it, or someone wants to teach it, I mean, again, we're in the free state of Florida where people don't have the autonomy to read and study what they want to study. This is outrageous. It's a public university getting federal money.
Yeah. And it's
come on.
It's just like the book banning. It's we're gonna take this away from you because I don't want my kids reading it.
And that's gonna backfire. These are adults.
Well, I don't know.
Adults can make decisions.
P.S. I don't know if you saw this, but Desantis in the last week has blamed everybody but himself and the legislature for the book banning disaster.
Oh my God.
He's blamed schools. He's blamed parents. He's blamed principals. He's blamed librarians. Everybody but himself, who was crowing about this fucking stupid bullshit.
What a loser.
What we're doing in Florida, you fucking dough-faced piece of shit.
What a loser.
Motherfucker. All right, well,
go get some new shoes.
Here's something else. This is what I love right now, is that there's Republicans leaving the House immediately, the U.S. House. This guy, Ken Buck from Colorado, just quit yesterday. And the way that, like, baby boy Mike Johnson found out...
Republican?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is through, like, this news media where the guy's like, I'm going to play you the clip, but he's like, I'm fucking done. He's like, we can't get anything done here, and I will be damned if this guy's going to convince me to vote for shit that's not constitutional. Like, I'm not fucking doing it.
Let's go. This is what we need from Republicans. But what, they're going to get their cuckoo magoos to come in?
Well, I don't know, but the more... They have to hold a special election, and, like, but the more cuckoos they lose... Not even cuckoos. He's not a cuckoo. The more Republicans, sorry, I just correlate the two so easily.
No, I do too.
But the more Republicans they lose, the less power they have. They're losing their voting numbers.
About MAGA.
Yeah, they're losing their voting numbers in the House. The Republicans are.
Good.
And I heard a podcast where this Republican who's anti-Trump was like, this guy should have a line behind him. She said, let the Democrats run things because we haven't gotten anything done. Nothing done. Nothing. All right, hold on. I want to play this clip of this guy.
This place just keeps going downhill, and I don't need to spend my time here. We've taken impeachment and we've made it a social media issue as opposed to a constitutional concept. Mike Johnson's ability to talk me into staying here is going to be about as successful as his ability to talking me into unconstitutional impeachments. This keeps going downhill.
Bye.
He's leaving Friday.
Baby boy.
He's not even saying, I'll serve out the rest of my term and I just won't run. No, he's like, I'm going to be home on Friday.
Right.
I'm going.
Time.
I already booked my flight. I'm out.
This is a person who ran for a seat and probably thought, okay, we got to get some work done. And no work is getting done because of all of this bullshit. And I do believe that there have to be the non-MAGA Republicans who are tired of this. Yeah. And my hope and dream for this country is that that Trump loses and the rest of the moderate Republicans say enough already.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the Lindsey Grahams and the Mitch McConnells and all of these old assholes.
Yeah.
And let's just move forward and try to bridge and move closer together.
Right.
I think that it can be possible. I think people are tired of this nonsense. They have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be. I'm tired.
Oh, please.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of worrying all of the time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that you mentioned last week that abortion being codified for France, right? Like, and it's part of their constitution, and that we're in the United States, and that country had to name our country in the list of countries
that they're rooting for.
That they're rooting for us. It's crazy. And then at the same time,
oh my God, this is where we're at,
This is where we're at.
Oh my God.
And then I saw another thing. I was watching a video on they're interviewing people in different countries and asking them about how many paid weeks maternity leave do you think the United States has as a country? And they're like 3 weeks, 3 months, this and that and the other, and it's all these people, and then one person's like 0, and then and then they go back to all the people, no, it's 0, and they're like, what, and it lists all the countries, and it's like, I mean, it was like Canada, and it was Sweden, and it was Ethiopia, and it was all these countries, and we are now the country that other countries worry about. Before it was like the U.S. is this pillar of democracy and freedom, and we're not that anymore.
No, it's not even close.
The House, everybody's quitting.
Yeah, great.
Yes. The other thing that the House did was, did you see that they overwhelmingly voted to ban TikTok in the United States?
Yes. Well,
and it's moving towards the Senate.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up, because the social media bill that passed in Florida that we talked about for the last 2 weeks, so they changed it again. They added something to it. They're excluding certain social media sites.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, Instagram,
Guess what?
Snapchat, Twitter.
No, Snapchat
is banned, and TikTok
are
banned.
Because that's what the kids use the most.
So the other ones, they're not going to do that too.
Right.
So
well, they are
weird.
on Instagram, but they're not. But Instagram and Facebook and X, right? You have Meta and you have Elon Musk. So it's very convenient that those social media platforms are permitted.
Yeah.
But TikTok and Snapchat. And the other thing is, and I can't remember if we talked about it or not, but with this idea of how are you going to verify age? So does that mean now, like, if you have an account, like if I have an account, am I supposed to put my driver's license? Do I have to have some kind of proof of my age, an age verification? And now my personal information or birth certificate or whatever is with whatever these companies are. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Would you put your kids' stuff in there?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, give me a fucking break. No.
So again, this is just a violation of our privacy.
What do they care?
It's a violation.
Kenergy at the Oscars.
Oh,
did you see it?
I have not seen one thing.
You haven't seen Ryan Gosling?
No, but I've heard that he's amazing.
It was so fucking good. It was so
I have to watch
fucking
clips.
good.
I'm so behind with the Oscars. I just am.
My other thing is that Kate Middleton is missing in action.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on, but we need an investigation immediately.
Oh my God.
Immediately. We need to know what's happening.
I've heard a couple things. Like, one, she had some kind of surgery and she requested, she said, please, can I have 6 months? And it hasn't even been a month.
First of all,
I get that she's a royal, but, thinking about what happened to Princess Diana and this oversaturation of media, can the woman recover in peace? Maybe she doesn't want to show herself.
I don't know if you're believing the royal family more than you're believing rumors.
Well, but it's very weird that they photoshopped, here's a Christmas picture and here's a this and a Vogue cover, and they're mismatching that. To me is weird.
That's because something's fucked up. I think she's very sick. I think she's very sick. I think she has an eating disorder. She's very thin. I think she did have to have some sort of abdominal surgery, because that's why she was going into the hospital. But she went into the hospital for the first time December 28th and was there for a while. And Williams went to see her one time, and then she was released, but they didn't tell them when she was released, and they haven't. That was the last time she was seen, was like some Christmas service, and then they said she was having this abdominal surgery while she was in the hospital a couple weeks later, like in January. And friends and family were like, what? Like, they were saying to the press that they had no idea she even needed surgery. I mean, something crazy is happening.
A mystery is afoot.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of rumors, and some of them are really fun.
Oh my God.
And we'll get into them here, but
God.
go look it up. All I'm going to say is pegging. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God.
Okay? But and they say he's having an affair. There's a woman. You'll see her pictures, but it's very carbon copy of what happened to Charles and Diana. Now, I don't know if people are trying to skew it that way, but remember, she got very thin, and he was having an affair.
I didn't know he was having an affair.
Camilla.
Oh,
William.
Oh, I'm talking about William.
One of the things is he's having an affair with this woman who's part of their,
their clique.
Yeah, and she doesn't mind doing things that he needs.
Well, I mean, I'm torn. I'm torn between privacy and not privacy. Like, I can't imagine what it must be like to always have every single aspect of your life scrutinized.
Yeah.
All of the time. And
she knew what she was getting into.
That's true. That's true. And, I mean, do we still need royals these days? Ooh, I better not let my husband hear me say that.
Yeah. A house divided.
Oh, my God.
So, tonight I am talking to Jayden D'Onofrio, or D'Onofrio. I always say his name wrong. D'Onofrio, who's going to come on the podcast. Tina's not going to be there. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Unfortunately, I have another sports engagement thing, and I'm sorry to miss it because I love this kid, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to hear all about like what he's doing, like what are they going to do with this money? Yeah, how are they energizing our voters? Yeah. And this is what we need. We need money. And we need young people. And so I am hoping that there is some like amazing summer mobilization action happening. Yeah. For getting the youth out to vote and getting them on board with Biden and getting rid of this, I think kids maybe just push dark branded, something that's going to make the kids like interested in Biden.
Well, so Jayden was, the last time he was on our podcast was November of 2022, and so much has happened since then. But one of the things is he started a PAC with other young leaders in Florida called Florida Future Leaders PAC, and he's the chairman of this PAC. Amazing. And they raised this record amount of money, over $100,000 in a very short period of time. And I'm excited to talk to him about what he's doing. He's here on spring break. He said, "Can I stop by?" And I was like, "Of course. Please come and talk to me."
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh my God, this is going to be crazy.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm doing that tonight after Tina leaves me.
I know, sorry. I'd much rather be here, trust me, between homework and, oh my God, I can't. I already went to school.
Oh no, we got to do it all over again, twice. All right,
it was more fun the first time around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't as far. Let me tell you something. YouTube is a parent's best friend when it comes to math.
Same.
My son's showing me papers. I'm like, here's how this is gonna go. We gotta go look up this algorithm on YouTube. I need the
step by step.
Yeah, and then
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Then I'm doing Spanish, and I'm like, Google Translate. What does this say? What's this question? Because I'm at that point.
Yeah.
This kid has been taking Spanish since kindergarten. Y'all, he can't, well, he says he can't talk, but when I'm playing the thing and he's got to determine the answer and it's someone going, saying something in Spanish, he's like, "Oh, this is what they said." I'm like, I know that you know this. Yeah. You're just fucking with me. Why? Why fuck with me? Why give me a hard time? Google Translate and YouTube are
my oldest took Spanish throughout elementary school and part of middle school, and for high school, he's like, "I'm taking French." Nice. I was like, all right.
Nice.
So.
Do it.
I mean.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So today, I'm going to tell you about former Speaker of the House of Massachusetts House.
Not baby boy Mike Johnson. I'm hoping to hear former with that guy's name. He can't be lasting that much
The House
longer.
of Massachusetts. Sounds like a drag show name. Salvatore DiMasi.
Ooh, and that sounds like a designer name too.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's a paisan.
Listen, I love it.
Right? We love that name. Yeah,
Sally Boy.
I love that.
We got Sally Boy happening over here.
I love Salvatore.
Salvi.
So, Salvatore F. DiMasi was born August 11th, 1945 in the north end of Boston, Massachusetts. He grew up in what was called a cold water flat in Boston's north end, where he lived with his parents, his two brothers, and his Italian immigrant grandparents. So, cold water flat is an apartment that has no hot water. In Boston, that's got to be freezing.
Yeah, God, thank God for hot water, man.
Dear Lord, we've gathered here today. Thank you for hot water. Amen.
Yeah.
DiMasi graduated from Christopher Columbus High School and went on to earn his bachelor's in accounting from Boston College and his Juris Doctor from Suffolk University Law School. So from 1974 to 1976, he served as the Suffolk County Assistant District Attorney. During the same period, he co-founded the North End Neighborhood Task Force to address issues of zoning, gentrification, and crime in Boston's North End. I wonder if he ever ran into Whitey Bulger.
Oh, wow.
He probably served with his brother. We've talked about his
rubbing
brother.
rubbing elbows.
With the stars.
The criminal stars.
So he opened a private law practice and he focused on criminal defense cases. In 1976, DiMasi ran for state representative against three-term incumbent O. Ronald Orlandi, and he lost. But 2 years later, he ran again for the third Suffolk County state representative seat, and he won. In 1979, DiMasi took office as state representative. While in office, DiMasi served as chairman of the committees on banks and banking, the judiciary, and criminal justice. He eventually rose among the ranks to become assistant majority whip, and majority leader. Really?
That's a lot.
Incredible.
That's a lot.
Super powerful, right?
Yeah.
In September 2004, DiMasi was elected Speaker of the House. Soon after becoming Speaker of the House, DiMasi sponsored legislation to make health insurance available for all Commonwealth residents.
Wow.
Which we know
is
Massachusetts
idea.
is famous for, right? Soon after, so DiMasi worked with legislative leaders and a coalition of diverse stakeholders from the healthcare and business community to craft Massachusetts' landmark healthcare law. In April 2006, Governor Mitt Romney signed the first in the nation universal health insurance bill into law, which of course he ran for office on. Remember this?
Yeah.
As a result of the law.
What a different time.
Yeah. You know what am I crazy? Wait, oh no, that's John Kerry. I was going to say, you know what I always forget? Mitt Romney married a Heinz ketchup heiress, but that was not him. It's similar square rectangle head man by the name of John Kerry.
These guys all look the same.
They all look, those two have rectangle shaped heads.
Oh God.
Like a Frankenstein or a Munster.
I'm just Herman Munster.
Herman Munster, square head. Phew, John Kerry catching shrapnel today on the podcast. I'm so sorry. As a result of the law, Massachusetts reduced the number of uninsured adults by nearly half within the first year of mandatory health coverage and increased the percentage of people receiving routine preventative care, according to the first major study of the 2006 law conducted by the Urban Institute. Incredible.
Yep.
Love to see it. Would love to see it on a national scale, but I guess, I don't know. Obamacare isn't the same, right? Like, it's not the same. Am I crazy? Help me out here.
I mean, it is similar, and I think they're expanding, and there's a lot of people that like it. I don't think that it's talked about.
Yeah. It's more an employer mandate than it is a person mandate, right? Isn't it more employees? That's how they did it, is through employers. And you have to have so many people. If you have so many people, you have to offer them health insurance.
Yes. And then if you can't get it through your employer, then you can
go to the open marketplace.
Yes.
Okay. So another issue, gambling was a big issue. In 2007, Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick submitted a bill that would allow the construction and operation of 3 resort-style casinos in the state. I didn't know governors could just make a bill. Maybe that's how it works in Massachusetts, but they create a bill and then pass it down.
Oh, I don't know.
That's bizarre, right?
Yeah, because it would think it would be committee and then all of the steps.
He argued that these casinos would generate $2 billion for the state economy and add $400 million in annual casino revenue and $200 million in fees per license to the state coffers, as well as $50 million to $80 million in sales meal and hotel taxes.
I mean, that's always the thing with casinos, right? Like, that's always the thing. Like, it's going to bring in so much money.
Right.
But then there's all of the other things that come with it sometimes, you know? And what are they doing with the money? Like, I think about that down here a lot. Like, you know, they're like, oh, if we get these casinos, then X, Y, and Z will happen. And I feel like it never happens. Like the people don't benefit. Maybe they do, and I'm stupid.
I don't know how they...
Possibility.
The Seminole? How...
Well, I think there's a percentage. No, but
to the state.
Yeah, to the state. And then what does the state do with that? Because remember with the lotto, which is a form of gambling, they're like, let's get the lotto. It's going to pay for education. And then like they steal from it.
And also that new sports betting online with the Seminoles, that's going to bring a lot of money to the state. He also touted that the casinos would create 30,000 construction jobs and 20,000 permanent jobs. Patrick proposed that the revenue generated would be spent to beef up local law enforcement, create a new gambling regulatory agency, repair roads, $200 to fix bridges, and $50 million to gambling addiction treatment.
They got to build that in because someone's going to be like, everyone's going to be addicted. And gambling is addictive.
It is.
And that sports betting really worries me because you can do that on your phone.
It doesn't feel real.
It's connecting to like your bank accounts. And I don't know. I feel like that is a slippery slope.
Agreed. And the remainder, he said, would go towards property tax relief. So DiMasi strongly opposed this plan. He questioned the governor's job and revenue projections and was opposed to what he referred to as casino culture, saying, quote, do we want to usher in a casino culture with rampant bankruptcies, crime, and social ills, or do we want to create a better Massachusetts for all sectors of the society, end quote. On March 20th, 2008, the Massachusetts House of Representatives rejected Patrick's casino bill by a vote of 108 to 46. Despite the overwhelming vote, questions were raised by critics of DiMasi as to the tactics he used to win. By the way, this is what you're supposed to do when you're Speaker of the House. You fuck around with people to get them to vote the way you want them to. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's part of the game.
You make promises.
Right? It's a wheeling and dealing kind of show.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. So, I don't know.
But baby boy Mike Johnson, can you imagine him trying to wheel and deal? He can't.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I think he's got to ask permission from his wife first.
That first interview of him, I saw a clip again today, and I'm like,
with them sitting side by side, or the solo.
It was the first interview he gave after he got the job.
Oh,
and I don't know who the fuck was interviewing him, but he's like, so many people are interested now in where I stand and what policies
Nobody
I like,
cares.
And people just really want to know. And when they ask me, I tell them it's simple. Just go look in a Bible.
Oh God.
Go look in the Bible. But it was just like this coy, like...
Of course that's
people are so interested in me now, but...
Nobody cares. And nobody cares about the Bible.
Yeah.
As far as in our, government.
Yeah.
I mean, read the Bible all you want. Go enjoy it. I'm sick of it.
Okay, so... obviously he was wheeling and dealing to make sure this thing was killed. And these things that he was accused of was allegations that he promised a subsequent vote on a bill that would allow slot machines at the state's 4 racetracks, and the pre-vote promotions of 6 lawmakers who had been thought to support the bill but either abstained or voted against the bill. And DiMasi denied that any promise had been made on the racetrack bill and denied that the promotions were connected to the casino bill vote.
So they're saying, okay, it's fine to wheel and deal, but you can't make a promise to someone and then be like, oh, I never said that.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
And they were given promotions, but he said they weren't connected. Because if you are the Speaker of the House,
there has to be some kind of trust.
Yeah.
Right? Because then...
Right.
I don't think you can just blatantly lie about things.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, like, who's gonna know? Like, it'll be a story that I feel like is forgotten, right?
Yeah. And it's a he said, she said kind of situation.
Yeah. So here we go. You ready? In December 2018, according to the Boston Globe, quote, DiMasi and 3 of his close friends and associates are the subjects of an ethics commission probe and other investigations relating to large payments to the associates received from Cognos ULC. So this company, end quote, this company was an IBM-owned company that was based in Canada and had a headquarters in Burlington, Massachusetts. And the Globe also said that, quote, one of the associates, Richard Vitale, DiMasi's accountant, also accepted payments from ticket brokers who were seeking to gut state anti-scalping laws, end quote. So basically what happened was these contracts come into question. There's a $4.5 million contract for the State Board of Education and a $13 million contract for the State Information Technology Division that were given to this company. And people were complaining, saying there was no background, like this didn't go through the proper thing.
Okay.
So what they discovered was that he was using his office to steer these contracts to go to Cognos, and he was paid $65,000 by this company to do this.
Wow. That's $20 million that company's getting almost.
Yeah. On September, I'm sorry.
What year is this? 2021, 2018?
2008.
Oh, 2008. 2008, you would think that the paper trail is pretty easy to follow on this.
Of
like,
course.
you know what I mean? Like, it's not like way back in the day where you can maybe hide things. Like, why would you even think that you could get away with this?
Girl, that's what happens. They get greedy. You know, they take one payment and they're like, oh, I'll take
$65,000.
Come on.
Oh, another one of these bags full of money. Let that drop in my lap.
Yeah, why? Why not? Why not?
But he's getting paid a lot, I'm sure.
Of course.
I mean, this is the thing I don't get either. Like, I understand someone who is in dire straits and, like, they might do something nefarious because they're in dire straits and they feel like there's no other way out. But a guy like this who has this great position, who's probably making a sweet little salary, who's had all these great jobs, like, I'm sure he's not suffering.
Powerful.
Yeah, you're not suffering financially. Like, why roll? I mean, and you're against gambling, but you're rolling the dice on destroying everything in your life. It's stupid.
Did you hear that? That's what you would have written about that. He's against gambling, but he's rolling the dice on his own life.
Had to be done.
Yeah, she's a writer. She can't even help it. It just comes out naturally. On December 17th, 2008, the Globe confirmed that a federal grand jury probe had been launched investigating the charges. So on Sunday, January 5th, 2009, he sends a letter to all members of the House informing them of his resignation from both his position as Speaker of the House and his seat in the House, effective 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 27th. And his resignation made DiMasi the third straight Speaker of the Massachusetts House of Representatives to leave office for a legal or under this cloud of like ethics probe.
What is going
Third
on?
In a row.
These?
In 1996, then Speaker Charles Flaherty resigned from being charged with income tax violations, and in 2004, then Speaker Thomas Finneran resigned amid a federal perjury investigation.
Wow. So
DiMasi was indicted on corruption charges in June of 2009. They were indicted on charges that included conspiracy, honest services fraud, mail fraud, aiding and abetting, and wire fraud. On October 13th, 2009, federal prosecutors added a count of extortion to the charges against DiMasi. With the added charge, DiMasi faced a possible 185-year sentence if convicted on all counts in the indictment.
Holy cow!
And he pled not guilty, but...
He made a deal?
No. On June 15, 2011, DiMasi was convicted on 7 of the 9 charges. His co-defendant, lobbyist Richard McDonough, was also convicted of taking part in the conspiracy. On September 9, 2011, DiMasi was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison and ordered to pay a fine of $65,000.
8 years? That's a lot. Like, we've done stories on this where, like, you know, it's maybe 2 or 3 years or, like, barely anything. Like, for people who've done, $1 million crime, that's wild. 8 years. That's a long time. And he's old at this point.
He's old, yeah. McDonough received a 7-year sentence. He served his sentence at the Federal Medical Center Butner, a federal prison in North Carolina, and was released on November 23rd, 2016, so a few years earlier.
Yeah.
On August 30th, 2012, the Massachusetts Retirement Board voted 5-0 to revoke DiMasi's $60,142 a year pension.
Wow.
And it's been suspended since then, so he has not received any of his pension.
Wow.
When he was
and then he had to pay the $65,000 back. Wow.
I know. In October 2016,
what do you do when you're that old? You don't have your pension.
I mean, he's got to have money.
He's got to have money, but still,
but he paid a lot of legal bills.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. And then you're in jail for 8 years. You're not making any money.
Yeah. Devastating.
Like what a way to end your life.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't take bribes.
Yeah.
I don't know. In October 2016, federal prosecutors asked a federal judge to give early release to DiMasi due to his illness after battling cancer.
Oh my
and
God.
in November 2016, the judge released a 69-page ruling concluding that DiMasi and the U.S. attorney and the prison officials convincingly demonstrated that DiMasi's health has declined so severely that further imprisonment was no longer warranted due to the cancer illness.
Oh my God.
So he was released
terrible.
after serving these 5 years. In March 2018, a petition by DiMasi to vacate his sentence was dismissed by a district court judge. He's still at it. He's still at it.
You got 3 years shaved off. Like, take it and just go right off into the sunset, man.
He can't. He keeps coming back.
Well, he wants it vacated because he probably wants his pension.
Well, there's other reasons. Yeah, there's other reasons too.
Oh no.
So, in April 22nd, 2019, the state of Massachusetts rejected DiMasi's application to lobby the legislature. And later in the week, he registered as a lobbyist with the city of Boston.
What?
Right, so he applies.
He's trying to make some money.
Yeah.
How old must he be? He's got to be
2019. He was probably
45.
70.
Yeah, he's got to be like 70. Like,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Go play some bocce.
Yeah. Have a
Go
coffee.
play some bocce.
Play some bocce.
Come on. My God, that doesn't cost anything.
Come on. You want some thrills? Go back to that cold water flat. That'll wake you up. But 4 days after he filed the registration, the Secretary of the Commonwealth rejected the application, citing a law that barred him from engaging in lobbying for a decade following his conviction.
He's a lawyer, doesn't he know this?
So what's he gonna? What do you think he does?
Oh, God.
Challenges it.
Oh my God. Leave well enough
We don't
alone.
know shame. We don't know shame.
I wish I could walk through the world without shame like this.
Me too. What's that like?
I don't know. I
told
know
you
what
before.
This feeling is.
Listen, we had a lot of bad comments on this clip the last time you pulled it, but I'm going to say it again. What it must be to have that white man confidence.
Oh my God.
And then somebody wrote, that's just confidence. That was a white dude who wrote that. Bro, come on. Come on. That's exactly what this is. This is, I took this money, I went to jail, but I'm going to come back in again because I need to be there.
I deserve it. No, you don't.
Fucking crazy.
You don't.
There might be an aspect of like, this was something he was really good at and this was his career, so he's
70
familiar,
years
like,
old. And
but
like,
you can go work at a grocery store.
Yeah, I'm not trying to age shame, but go do some consulting work. I'm sure that you can go consult. You can do something.
But don't you think he's walking through there and he's kind of like a spectacle? Like, oh, there goes DiMasi, blah, blah, blah.
God.
Like, isn't that what they're saying?
How is he? And I thought he was on his deathbed. He said he's so sick.
I was thinking that same thing.
He's like so sick that with the cancer they got to let him out. But now he's like trying to get 3 different jobs. What?
Someone got bamboozled. My favorite word. I said it last week and I'm saying it again. Bamboozled.
It's a good word.
It's a great fucking word.
It's a good word.
So, of course, they rejected it. And when DiMasi challenged the rejection of his lobbying registration, the trial court in September of 2022 sided with him, saying the state law should be read narrowly because the statute discusses state convictions only.
Oh,
it said a federal corruption conviction does not prevent a formal official busted by the feds from working in the state house lobby. So,
but this is ridiculous.
But now he's like
You're
too old to
corrupt,
kind of at this point get around. So I don't even think he's doing it. But I think he was. I don't know. I don't know. And when he came out, I got a picture for our notes. He comes out of prison. He looks like an old man, and
poor guy. No.
He just wants to be in the action again.
Yeah, no, you don't need the action. It's like the guy in I haven't mentioned this show in a while.
Sopranos?
In The Sopranos. Bobby Bacala's
By the way,
dad.
I like when you mention it. You don't do it for my case.
Bobby Bacala's dad.
He
comes out sick, and Bobby's like, he's sick. What is he doing?
And he tries to kill somebody.
He tries to kill somebody. Like, he's out of the game. He manages to do what he's supposed to do, and it ends terribly.
He's a mess. He's a fucking
and poor
mess.
Bobby. And then Junior's like, what? He's still in mourning? Like, I need someone to drive me. Like, it's like no compassion for Bobby.
Oh,
that's what I'm imagining.
He's
He's coming out. He's coming out with his illness.
No need. Wherever there's someone walking around like that, there's children going, why is he doing this? Why is this happening?
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that's it.
Great story.
Salvatore DiMasi.
Sally Boy DiMasi.
Ooh, Sally Boy. You ever been to Boston?
No.
Tina? You'd
I
love
need
it.
to go.
Come on!
I need to go explore the world.
Yeah.
What else? So the only thing that made me laugh, I sent you the clip today, was this Jon Stewart clip.
Oh my God. Jon Stewart. Once a week, I'm good. I'm good with once a week with Jon Stewart.
He's
fucking brilliant.
Amazing. He's funny.
Forget about
it. He does this whole thing about the Republicans and their love of the Constitution.
Oh my God.
It is the funniest thing I've seen in so long. It was like, I was laughing out loud at my phone. And he's so adorable.
Yeah.
Don't you think he's so cute?
Listen.
I think he is so adorable.
Silver fox, baby.
Oh, and he's just cute and he
Also,
smiles
like,
and he says this one part where he's like, he pulls the Constitution out and he's got this map.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Like he is
It's
so
adorable.
cute
No,
and funny.
Listen.
And then did you saw the clip with the dog? Like he's just like this
she loves that
sensitive,
fucking dog.
funny.
Yeah,
Oh, love
no,
it.
he's adorable. Well, he's also
Jon Stewart for president.
He's not bald, but he's funny and he's a Jew, and we
Oh
know
my
how I
God.
feel about them.
Adorable.
Got it. So cute.
Hi, Jon Stewart.
Hi.
Hi, we love you, Jon Stewart.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Can we come on your show?
Oh my God, I would die. I think he's incredible, and he's
It's
so
brilliant.
It's so smart.
He
it's
is
kind
one of the most brilliant people of our time.
I think I was going to say that earlier when we were talking about, you said, aren't they exhausted for like having to, these Republicans, aren't they exhausted? I was thinking, aren't they exhausted from the backflipping they always have to do?
My
Like
God.
they're so sure about this, and next thing you know, they're like, oh, well, we
Did you
didn't
see
say
the
that.
letter?
Like, it's so crazy.
Did you see the Katie Britt letter that she put out?
No.
Oh.
What?
Oh my God.
She writes?
Basically it's a call for money.
Oh no.
And about,
you know what? That's what these motherfuckers are. These fake ass motherfuckers. Fake.
So she puts a letter out because, you know, she got this horrendous backlash.
Yeah.
From her rebuttal to the State of the Union that was full of lies. And we talked about that last episode. So she says, and I'm going to try to read this in my best Katie Britt voice. I prayed it wouldn't come to this, friend. Following my speech, the far-left media didn't waste a second flooding the airways with despicable, disgusting messages about me. They attacked my character. They attacked my faith. They attacked my identity as a mother and a wife. My heart is broken, not for myself, but for my children, your children, and the entire next generation of Americans. Why? Because I didn't prepare a 20-minute speech and stand up to Biden in front of millions of Americans for me. I did it for them, for you, and for your children, friend.
I don't remember you asking to do shit for me, bitch.
I always knew the radical left would come for me. I've never feared their lies or smear campaigns because the truth needed to be told. So as I watch the dishonest leftist media and the liberal elites making a mockery of everything I've dedicated my entire life to protect, laughing at the destruction of the American dream. Every single American who dares to stand up to their radical agenda, every patriot who fights to defend their American dream because they can't handle the truth about their failed leader. They've pulled their knives out to tear me down and tell America that what I said was untrue. We can't allow them to block out the truth, friend. I meant every word that I said. And then we're watching the American dream crumble, blah, blah, blah. Give me some money is what it ends
Oh, yeah,
with,
right.
basically. Friend. What? This is even weirder.
Yeah. She's a weirdo.
Who's ever sending money, they must have freaked the hell out to see all that money tumbling in for Biden.
Oh, yeah.
They must have lost their mind.
Yeah, well.
So.
I mean, listen, there's not, like, when I was watching our podcast from last week and I said at the end when we were talking about this woman, there's nothing scarier than white women who do this kind of acting. They will shuffle their feet. They will do whatever it takes.
They attacked me as a mother and a wife.
The bias that we have against white women who are like, that needs to stop because these women are going to bring on the destruction of this country.
It's crocodile tears.
And as soon as they're done using them and they move them out of the way, they're going to move on to the rest of us. I'm telling you right now, do not buy into this motherfucking bullshit. Not for a second. Not for a second.
Nope.
I mean, every time I tell Alfredo, oh, I can't stand that person. Oh, I can't. He says to me, you don't like white women. I go, yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Fuck them. These Susan B. Anthony motherfuckers, no.
We're done.
We're done.
We need different voices.
And
we need this.
Here's what we know.
Because these women, these women aren't standing up for women.
Right.
These are women who are being put forward by men. They're being manipulated by men, and they're doing a man's agenda.
Right.
We don't have time for it.
Right.
They're masking their agenda with you, and you're too stupid to see it. And you think that you're some star. You think you're some voice for the people. You are a pawn in their game.
Listen, what we know about Republicans is that they watch and they learn. And they know they can't sell that message through white men. Donald Trump is reprehensible. People can't, he's a monster.
No.
Right? Desantis was he's no personality, a wet blanket. What do we need? How can we still sell the same hateful fucking words, but in a Jean Bonnet-esque fucking thing.
Right. They tried it.
And they said, oh, well, let's put this same shitty fucking hateful message through a white woman's voice. Mm-hmm. But the problem was, she doesn't know how to act. If she had given that same message as the voice we heard before she started rehearsing, where she was like, "Hey guys, tune in. I'm gonna give the rebuttal for the State of the Union." If you watch that video, if that girl had given that speech, we'd be in a different ballgame right now.
Maybe,
definitely. It would still be crazy, but it would be. Yeah. Wait a minute, she sounds way too normal.
Right.
Remember, Desantis was the normal Trump.
Right.
He was the Trump they could sell.
Cuckoo.
And then he was, it was the depth of a puddle. Yeah. But if she had done it that way, we would be it'd be a totally different thing.
And I think the other thing too is that, they tried this, we need to have, some woman on board with the whole Sarah Palin. Right? They tried it with Sarah Palin, but Sarah Palin was too cuckoo and dumb, and you know what I mean?
Every woman that they put forth is severe. She's severe, sort of but this sort of thing. Maura Boebert's like that. Marjorie Taylor Greene is like that. That Carrie Lake is like that. They're the severe. This woman's got the look.
She's got.
I don't want to give you advice, but if she were to just be herself and give that message,
don't give this advice. Cut that advice out.
But it would have worked. It would have worked. Yeah. But she overdid it.
I don't think she can do it. I think that she's trained.
I think she could, but she went the wrong route.
The fundy.
Dude, it's like watching the difference. To me, it reminds me of RuPaul's Drag Race. There's things where they have to do acting challenges. And, as an actor, they have to make choices.
Yeah.
And she chose the wrong route. That's what she did. If she had chose this other path, maybe. I'm telling you right now, she'd be the cheerleading darling of that fucking party right now. Mm. But she didn't. She chose
All right, stop giving this party advice. We're trying to win an election.
I'm telling you right now, I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again. If Biden pulls this off, sneak me into the White House. Sneak me in the back door where Marilyn walked in.
Okay?
Because I'm going to tell President Biden how happy I am with what he's been doing.
Oh my God.
Okay? I'm just saying, I'll do what it takes for the team, everybody. Okay. He's not looking for me. There's this great little video thing called Meet Cute. NYC Meet Cutes. Have you seen these videos? And people are walking down the street like a couple, and they're like, "Excuse me, are you a couple?" And they say, "Yes, go tell us how you meet."
Yeah.
They did one at the White House on Valentine's Day. I love these two. I love them.
They are lovey-dovey. It's
great
cute.
Story of how they met and became a couple too. I'm here for it. I'm on the Biden train to success and to win.
I can't even believe I'm listening.
Can you believe it? And you want to talk about doing backflips? I'm fucking doing them. I'm doing them for this campaign.
Let's go.
Let's go, Brandon. Brandon.
No, let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Dark
Come
Brandon.
on, Dark Brandon 2024.
Oh, I need that bumper sticker. I want the laser eyes.
Oh, so cute.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye.